this guy, I'll just make him light, and I'll also make him light. Okay, like that. So let's see if this works. If I hit compile and I hit play, and it's right in the corner, and of course I can, there you go, and it also works. If I reload, that also works, and it looks pretty good, right? So I may or may not move them all to the right. So if I want to, I can, but let's say if it's all the txt health, okay, not the txt health, but rather the border armor, it all starts from here all the way down here, and then this and this, I'll just move them little to the right. That's about good. Okay, that's about good. All right, I'll just compile that, save it, and I hit play. That's looking pretty good. Now maybe I'll just move this little to the left. Okay, and then I'll have one more text block right in the center, and all this will do is this will just say / size to content, again anchored to the bottom right, and just put it here like this. Okay, and maybe I'll increase the size to 30, and I'll make this not bold, rather light. Okay, and I don't know what this will look like, but I think this will be looking good. I'll just have to bring it down, and let's see. It's hard to understand what it looks like in the game. I hit play. I think I just have to take this to the right a little bit, or this text to the this guy, and this should need to be coming here like that. Compile, play. Okay, maybe this will be towards the right furthermore. Compile, play. All right, I think I'm okay with that. All right, and maybe I just need to increase the size to 40, and there you go. Compile and play. Okay, now I can further move it to the left, up, and compile, play, further up, compile and play. All right, great. So I think I'm happy with that. Of course, we're going to change the text a little bit, and also 25 needs to come a little bit down and left. Okay, and perfect. All right, and 100 is fine the way it is. 25 is also looking good, and if I fire, I reload, even that's changing, nothing, no issues there. And also if I go in there and it's going to take off my armor, that's also working. So perfect. Now all I need to do now before we end this video is we have to you have these texts, right? So you have to hook these up to the percentages. So instead of binding it, maybe we can say is variable. So we can select them as is variable. So that will be text health and text armor is health, and this is text armor and text health. So if I go back to the armor bar and the health bar both, and if I look at my binding, it says get health bar percentage. If I go to the function, so this returns the value out here. Now as player, you can do all of this, and it returns the node. In fact, what we'll have to do is before we do any of this, let's also before we return, let's bring in this is for the health bar, right? So let's bring in the txt health, set txt health, okay, like this, and connect it to this, and this will be multiplied by float, and this will be 100, and connect it here. Okay, so this from float, this will be to text. So if I say to text, and then let's move it to the right. Now if I connect this, it still won't. This is, oh, okay. Let's see. Instead of this, let's actually get in the health. Get the health and then say set text. Set text. Okay, and now this should work. Like that. Connect this here and bring this in here, and now just connect that to the end text. That should work. Okay, and then also add a reroute node like this, just to make it look good. And we do the same thing for the armor. Now this is another way it might work. Let's try it out. And the most straightforward way is to actually have another binding like we did for the health bar and the armor bar. Okay, but instead of creating a binding, what we're doing is we change the text variable, the txt health as a variable. We converted that to a variable, and then we simply set the text as we are also setting the percentage at the same time. So we can do the same thing for designer. If you go back to the designer, and if you click on this will be the armor bar. Again, if you go down and you can see that you have the armor bar percent, you do the same thing, exact same thing. Move this, not this, but rather this guy, the return node, to the right. Okay, and let's bring him to the left like this, and this will be let's bring in what is this, armor? Yeah, so bring in the text armor, drop it here and say get armor, get text armor, then say set text like that. Connect this to this, then connect this to this, and just bring this guy closer and maybe move him a little further away, and like that, because I'm going to need to have to first multiply that with 100, because this is all in percentage. So multiplying that with 100 is going to give us the real value. Now this will be if I can directly do that, and it's going to convert it to the text, and this should also work as intended. Now again, bring it down here and do that. Okay, and compile that, come back here, and let's play. Okay, so now that's 100. If I go down here, and this is 90, 85, so now you can see that thing is working, right? So, and again, it's also, as it's increasing, you can see that it's increasing to 78, 79, 80, and so on, and it's also looking good. Now, one thing, maybe if I go back to my HUD, if I go back to my designer, maybe I should just move this towards the right, or I'll just say, yeah, this is justified as center. I'll just move them both to the right a little bit. And if I'm saying minus 60, and this should also be 60. There you go. Compile that, play, and if I go in here, and you can see that it's working. Perfect. Everything is working fine. So oh, that's an editor getting some error. We'll fix that later. But it's actually shaping up to look like a fine game. Again, 25 100 fire, and it's not bad at all. So you got the 17 by 100 now. And if I go over to my paint volume, and you can see that the armor has decreased, and it's also increasing now. And also if I move in, the objective is going to be there. So point beta, then it says point move to point Charlie, and now it says all objectives cleared. It did come up, and it just stayed for a couple of seconds and left as we expected. So fine. So everything is looking great, and we'll take care of this error message later on, and it's all about take damage and all that inside the paint volume, so it's got something to do with it. So let's end this video now, and when we come back, we're going to add some more. We'll beautify the UI for the game even better. Okay, I'll see you in the next video.